There's my face. What up, everybody? It's BQ. Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk Hard to Kill 2024. I just came back from the venue probably about 45 minutes or so ago. And I was kind of up in the air if I wanted to live stream right when I got home, but everything's still fresh on my head. So I said, fuck it. You know what? Why not? Let's do this. Let's talk this great pay-per-view. Now, my experience is much different because I was there in person, and from my previous experiences, when you're there in person, you always tend to enjoy it a lot more than if you were sitting home watching on TV. So, I don't know how it came across to you, a lot of you guys. Um, I've heard some people say I kind of felt like a normal Impact pay per view. A couple of the matches, for me, being there, like that was the most fun I've had at a wrestling show. Previously, it was NWA Empower. I had an absolute blast at that show, but this was this was it for me, and it was mainly because the energy for me felt different. I don't know how it came across on TV, but at the very beginning when Eric Young came out and was doing the monologue, all the wrestlers were on the ramp, and you could see the emotion on a lot of their faces, and you could just see them looking out to the crowd and just taking it all in. Like this was really special to them. So, for that reason, it felt very, very different than a normal pay per view or a normal show I've gone to. It was just a different kind of energy, and that happened at NWA Empower too. Very similar. The women came out on the ramp, and I felt something very different. Now, initially, when I got there and looked at the venue, I was like, "This is really small." But as it filled out with people, it ended up looking a lot bigger. And I was told that Tom Hannafin said it was the largest house that they've done, or the most people at a live event. Eh, I still kind of maintain that Bound for Glory 2019 had more people. I've often said that I estimated about 2,500 there. I think I overshot that one. I don't think it was 2,500, but if there were 17, 1,800 at this, I believe was the final count. I still think 2019 Bound for Glory had more people than that. Not by a lot, but I really think it was more. There was a lot of seats that you couldn't see on the screen. Like there was rows of seats set up and bleachers also. So I could be totally wrong. I mean, apparently I am wrong, but I would have assumed that Bound for Glory had like 2,000. So I think with this particular venue, because it had the balconies probably went deeper than I realized they did. So that's probably where the disconnect was for me. But I had an absolute blast of the show. This is, I brought my two teenage kids. They had a freaking blast too. My daughter got the Ace Austin card, so she's really happy about that. My son was very jealous because he actually likes Ace Austin to where she doesn't necessarily. Not that she doesn't dislike him, but I mean he's just more of a fan. But she does like the Bullet Club, so but he was pretty jealous about that. But after the match, he did snatch the card from her and hold it up for him to see, and he saw it and pointed at him. So he got the moment. So that was awesome. Met a couple people there as well, and as I said, like the experience was just different. It was a very different energy than shows that I've gone to, and I don't know how it came across on TV. I don't have a freaking clue. Um, Jaw Jackson here says it came off a lot better. It doesn't shock me. It really was just a different vibe. As the night progressed, the crowd definitely got a little fatigued. I think because the beginning was just freaking popping. It was crazy. One of the what was really funny, it, if you're listening and you were there personally, you know what I'm talking about. Well, we're expecting surprises at this show, right? So there were several times that music hit out of nowhere, and everyone, starts looking at the screen, and it's plugging a new sponsor. I think that happened 3 times, and it was just funny because we're just, everyone's on the edge of their seat, like, who's gonna show up? The negative thing I'm gonna say about this show is that I thought they really shit the bed as far as surprises. I think the 2 surprises we got were good, but when I say that they shit the bed, it was just that we're gonna get to the match by match review here, but, like, when Dango and PCO had the match, and they say, "Hey, this is gonna be a tag team match." Well, first of all, you knew once there was the disqualification, someone was coming out, and everyone was ready for it, and it's fucking Rhino. And then Santino comes out and says, "This is gonna be a tag team match. It's actually gonna be a 6-man tag team match." So then you're thinking, here's the surprise, and it's Jake something. And when I said at the beginning of the show that the wrestlers came out on the ramp, I noticed he was in his wrestling gear, and I was like, "Is he on the card? Are they going to factor him to this somewhere?" So that was somewhere where I thought it was disappointing. And then obviously you have this like impromptu knockouts tag team title match, and it's the same thing. People are thinking, a couple girls are going to come out and debut, and it's Decay, and they're over, and they were very over. So I think people could overlook that one, but I just felt like people were looking for surprises. We're being told there's going to be surprises. You've got, 3, well, 4 total, but you got Decay, the 2 of them, Jake and Rhino, all in impromptu, like, mystery opponent, mystery partner type spots. And it's just people from the company, from the card. I mean, from the card, excuse me, from the roster. And as I said, the music was hitting for some of the sponsors, uh, and people were thinking a wrestler was coming out, so it was pretty funny. But that was kind of like my only real negative thing, is that I just think that, I don't know, man. Like, it was Jake something's becoming Tommy Dreamer as far as he's like the mystery tag team partner and shit like that. And Rhino's in the same boat. But that's all. That was the only thing I really disliked about the show. There were some weird finishes as far as who won some of the matches that I thought was, we'll see where it goes. I'm not going to completely knock it, but um, but yeah, top to bottom, a lot of fun. I just, the energy definitely, we definitely lost some energy as the night went. I kind of got the impression there was a lot of people there who were just wrestling fans, not necessarily TNA fans, which is a good thing. I do feel that Trinity brought a lot of people. Like, she was very over there, very. Um, I think a lot of people were there to see her. There was a guy sitting in front of me. I didn't mean to. We're going to talk about Jade here in a second. Talking about Jade's an upgrade. We're going to talk about Jade here in a sec. There was a guy in front of me. He was on WhatsApp texting, and he was holding it up high. So of course I'm looking over his shoulder because at first I glanced and someone goes, "What the fuck is TNA?" He goes, "Oh, it's the dude." The dude, he was sitting on his hands the whole show. Everyone around him was standing up and cheering and waving their rally towel. And he's just sitting there. I thought the rally towels were a nice touch, by the way. And he goes, "Oh, it's some promotion. They're kind of old school, like the territory system." I don't. What's like? What is this dude talking about? It was only like 2 matches into the card. He's like, "There's a lot of cringe, bad comedy." Where he's talking about Joe Hendry, and Top Dollar. But I was like, I didn't get that from this show, that it was like cringy bad comedy. I get it with that opening segment. I guess if you don't really know Joe Hendry, then it can be extremely cringe. But we know him. My kids love Joe Hendry, so they loved, actually being there for his him doing one of his videos and everything. Let me talk Jade Chung here. By the way, first of all, she looked phenomenal. Phenomenal. She is stunning. When I knew that she was going to replace Dave Penzer, which which I've been asking for Dave Penzer to be released for years. Or not released, but just to move on from him. I was like, why is this company allergic to hot women on screen? So when Jade was doing BTI, I tuned in for her a little bit and I said, she's not bad, but she could use some work. I was saying she's not ready. And then they announced that she was going to do, she was going to replace Penzer. And I was, I was optimistic because I was so ready for the change. But at the same time, I was saying, I still don't think she's ready. She's ready. I thought she did such a good job. It was such a breath of fresh air. She gave people different ring introductions. Like I said, Penzer never did. Like Penzer was really quick with his ring introductions. He'd just be like, coming to the ring, A, B, C, and I'm exaggerating, especially with that example. But she really put effort into everything she did, and the announcements were long, and we knew where they were from, and she just gave it uh, a little flair that I thought was missing. Um, she came out before the show started. She was pumping up the crowd, and in a way that I promised David Penzer wasn't doing. There's no way. Um, just come out, got everyone fired up, told them to wave their towels. She was throwing T-shirts into the crowd. I was really, really impressed with her. She did not look at her cards a single time. The I don't the little 6x4 4x6s. What is that? What on the business card 4x6? I don't know the cards that they use. Um, Penzer was always from Yonkers, New York. Like we don't all know where Tommy Dreamer's from. Tommy Dreamer, I'll be damned. She did not look at those cards a single time that I saw. And trust me, I was looking at her because she, again, looked incredible. Um, she didn't. No, Kata and Osprey tomorrow. Uh, I'm just responding to a comment there. But I thought she just did an excellent job. She clearly has been working at this, and she's in the ring doing it. She's not, doing it from a chair on the outside. And I just thought she did an awesome job. I was um, just really happy with it, and it was just a breath of fresh air because Penzer was the same thing, just the same thing all the time, and she sounded good. She sounded excellent. So I did see a few wrestlers in the by the concession stand. I actually saw Mercedes and Bailey. Um, they were probably 15 feet away from me. I thought, and at that time I didn't know they were there, so that really caught me off guard. They were clearly in disguise, but I mean, I knew it was them. But when I was getting concessions, I did it during the tag team match since I was the one I didn't have a lot of interest in. I went to get drinks and all that shit. And I saw Danny Luna walking around, Masha Slamovich walking around, um, Jody Threat walking around backstage. Then after the show, we got some dinner, and I saw Killer Kelly was walking with Jay Vidal and Savannah Evans, and they had their suitcases. So I don't think they were actually staying at the Palms. I think they might have been staying across the street at the Golden. I forgot what it's called, but um, yeah, I would imagine they didn't book the entire roster to stay at the Palms. I'm sure some of the bigger names are, but yeah, it was cool. I got to see a couple of them walking around, and yes, but yes, Jade is so damn hot. Josh is a lucky bastard. Like she came out, my son just yells, "Damn!" I mean, but I'm really, really, really happy with what she did tonight. So I'm gonna get into these matches here. Um, I don't have notes because I was there, so I'm just gonna kind of look at the card. I might be out of order here a little bit, just kind of give you my experiences from there, my thoughts, and if anything else pops in my head from throughout the night, obviously I'll insert that in there. But so let's get into. Oh, so I got to throw out there as well. The heels were a lot more over than the baby faces in these matches. Maybe not all of them, but the majority of them. People seem like they were kind of there for the bad guys. What was the very first match here? Rich Swann and Steve Macklin. The Well, let me answer this question. What do I think about the new stage? It was kind of hard for me to see because I'm not watching on television. To me, it looked like the same exact setup except for the entrance ramp, or not an entrance ramp, I guess, but the tunnel. I thought that was really cool. I hope that's something that's kind of sticking around. But I thought that was awesome. But the general lighting looked exactly the same. Um, but yeah, Rich Swann and Steve Macklin, everyone was very very much into this. Rich Swann came out dressed like Flash Funk. I thought he was going to do the whole match like that. I thought that was like kind of odd for the very first wrestler we see, but this one I had a lot of fun with because as I've mentioned, these are my two favorite wrestlers in the company. I was okay with whoever won the match, but I was curious to see. I felt if Steve Macklin lost that was going to be really telling. But he did win. Cut a little backstage promo back, a little bit later. Talking about Mayhem for All. I thought they were going to debut someone in there, like they were going to walk up on him, but that's not what happened. But this match was really, really good. Everyone was really into it, and that usually happens when it's the very first match. And the TNA chants were throughout the night. I mean, just throughout the night. Steve Macklin won this thing, and hopefully they get him back on track, and then we'll kind of see what they're doing with Rich Swann. I said that I thought this was Rich Swann was going to be wrapping up with the company soon, like it was just a gut feeling. But once I saw all these wrestlers on the entrance ramp, as I said in the beginning of the show, and just saw the kind of emotion on their face and how happy they were, like they were the expressions of people who were excited to be a part of something. And that's what I said was missing and what we really needed. We didn't need people coming in looking for a booking. Everyone just seemed like they're really excited and to be a part of something. So, what do we have after this? So after this was Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. Eddie Edwards' hair looks a lot better now. He looked ridiculous for about 3 years, but now it's I can dig it. Yeah, Rich Swann does need a repackage very very badly. I think there was a couple opportunities where they had a chance to do it and just didn't quite get there. But he does need a repackaging. But yeah, the tag team match, I enjoyed it quite a bit as well. These were all guys that I kind of enjoy watching wrestle, and it was awesome because I knew it when Eric Young took off his mask. I knew this motherfucker had a beard underneath. I don't know. I just felt it, and he removed it, and he sure enough had the beard, and he looks way better like that. He really does. And it got a good pop from the crowd as well too. So they got some pretty good reactions. Both teams did. But yeah, Frankie and EY were very very much over. And I was actually shocked that I got half my predictions wrong. There were some that I was pretty confident in, and a couple definitely caught me off guard. I actually thought Dreamer was going to win his match with Crazy Steve, Digital Media Championship match. I actually thought he was going to win, and I was wrong about that one. But this was one of the matches that the crowd wanted Steve to win. They clearly did. There wasn't ECW chance or any of that nonsense we get with Dreamer. I was told in a DM that Tom Hannafin said Tommy Dreamer had dropped 40 pounds. Like, I can assure you he did not. Uh, he did not. um, but yeah, Dreamer was not. He didn't get the reaction that I think we typically used to see him get from live crowds. Like, the audience really did want Crazy Steve to win, so they were pretty happy when he did. What do I think about the System faction with Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Moose, and obviously Alicia? And I don't know if D'Angelo Williams is going to be part of that too. I hope so. That'd be awesome. But I'm really into it, very very into it, and I just hope that they are not booked like jobbers. Like I actually really thought that EY and Frankie Kazarian were going to win. That one really shocked me that they lost because I thought they were going to be, kind of treated. I not treated like jobbers, but I mean, it's just really rare to see a faction where everyone's strong. You know, I think that's where facts. Jesus Christ, my dogs. Um, it's rare to see a faction where everyone's just like hitting, everyone's looking really, really good. So I'm really excited about it. They had a pretty good theme song. It was clearly specific for them. It wasn't just something off mp3.com. I don't know if that's a site anymore or not. I don't think so, but it was definitely a custom theme song. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, I really wasn't expecting Myers and Edwards to win, but I'm glad that they did. Um, I'm jumping around, aren't I? Because we were talking Crazy Steve and Tommy Dreamer. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not going off notes here, so I don't even know how I transitioned to those motherfuckers. So my bad on that. It might have been because it was the comment I was reading here. But anyway, yeah, going back to Dreamer and Crazy Steve, crowd was not like super into it, but they definitely wanted Crazy Steve to win, and they were excited that he did. And then we got to the main card. Um, yeah, Ace Austin did have a botch tonight. It was okay though. It's okay. Um, X Division, the ultimate, not the X Division, excuse me, the Ultimate X match, the Knockouts Ultimate X, which was Tasha Steelz, Giselle Shaw, Zaya Brookside, Jody Redhair, Alicia Edwards, and Danny Luna. This was a lot better than I expected it to be. Like when they put the card together, and I said in my preview show, I'm shocked that Kylan King wasn't in this. Um, I was like, surely she's going to come out on one way, shape, or form during the show, but she didn't. But when they announced the entire field, I was like, I don't know that this is going to be that good. Yes, I call her Jody Red Hair because at the time she debuted, it was just like everyone's hair was red. I'm like, like Killer Kelly's was, Masha's was, fucking Kylan King's was. I'm just like, what? Why are they bringing in a fourth girl with red hair? So that's kind of why I call her that. But um, this was a lot better than I expected. They had some really good moments and spots here, and there was a couple spots a tad clunky. And as I said, the women don't really have the upper body strength to climb the structure too much, or to scale across the ropes a whole lot. And I thought Tasha Steelz was going to win this. Like, Tasha Steelz was over when she came out, and she had a lot of fire, a lot of energy. I thought she was going to win this match, but if anyone else was, I thought it was going to be Giselle. And I did say that it was Giselle's opportunity to really shine. I don't know if she shined. I don't know if anyone like really did, but overall they worked very hard and put on a good match. I have concern that she's going to challenge for the Knockouts Championship in the Snake Eyes tapings, or just kind of like Alan Angels did, where they just completely threw it away. So I hope not. Zaya Brookside looked really good. I guess they announced that she signed. So she brought a different. Oh, I'm repeating this word a lot tonight, but she brought a different energy to the match that, like Jody Threat, for instance, when they signed her, I didn't feel like she was adding anything really different to the division. But with Zaya, like I felt something different with her out there, So, Danny Luna, she looked like she took a hard fall. Oh yeah. When she was coming from the ropes, yeah. I think it didn't look like a botch to me. I think she was supposed to fall. I kind of told it. I kind of took it like they're just telling the story that she just couldn't hang on, you know. But she definitely hit pretty hard though. Um, so yeah, Josh Alexander, best wrestler in the Impact era. Yeah, I'd say so. You know. Um. So yeah, Giselle wins this thing. I hope that it jumpstarts her 2024 into like, because I think she could be knockouts champion and do a really good job. But she just, I mean, they beat her so much last year, so that's why I'm concerned that she's just gonna wrestle for the title right away. But these women, very, very much delivered. They they over delivered. Like I really was expecting a lot less than this. PCO took on Dango, and I cannot believe that I actually called this that it was going to be a no contest when I was doing my predictions, and it didn't even last. I think I even said in the previews that it was only going to last a couple minutes before the match was thrown out, and that's essentially what happened. It's pretty much exactly what the fuck happened. I don't know why they didn't just announce this as a six man tag team match. As random as Dango versus PCO was, and people were like, "Why is this on the main card?" If it was announced as a six-man tag team match, like it's easier to be random if you're leaning into being random. You know, a random six-man match comes off better than a random one-on-one match, in my opinion. So I feel like they should have just said, "Hey, you know, it's 3-on-3." I don't see what the point was in bringing these guys out. And if you're just kind of tuning in, when when we knew someone was coming out, you know, when they threw the match out, we're expecting our first surprise of the night, and it's fucking Rhino. And there was people, you know, oh Rhino, gore, gore. Like I was sitting there with my, I was pissed. Like if someone were looking at my expression, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here? And then Santino comes out, says it's going to be a six man. I'm like, okay, here's the surprise, and it's Jake something. You just should have just announced this as a six-man tag team match, and I still think it should have been on the pre-show. Excuse me. But I had such little interest in that match, like you have no idea. It completely took me out of things for a little bit. Oh god, I'm yawning because I'm not rested. Ooh, girlfriend. Do I think Rich Swann will ever hold the tag team titles? Not really. The opportunity was there with Willie Mack. They didn't pull the trigger. So yeah, we're gonna talk to Kay here in a little bit. Someone's, you know what? Let me bring this comment up because this is very possible. I feel like they're supposed to get someone and didn't, so they use Rhino and Jake. That is very much a possibility, but at the same time, like they could have just changed the match. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone would have cared because no one cared about the original match. It's not like they randomly gave Hammerstone a couple partners and Josh a couple partners. Like no one gave a shit about this match, so just change the fucking match. You know what I'm saying? PCO's entrance was great. That was I'm not like the biggest PCO fan in the world, but that was really really excellent. Uh, I felt deflated when Rhino came out as well. Yes, I I could feel a lot of the fan base being deflated. I mean, a lot of people did pop for him in the house, but I think a lot of people were deflated too. Yeah, I'll be at the tapings tomorrow. I was gonna go by myself, but now my kids want to go, so I'm gonna buy a couple more tickets, and then we'll just sit somewhere that is different from my original assigned seat. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, Nick Nemeth or Nemeth. I always call him Nemeth. Nick Nemeth is announced for the tapings versus Zach Wentz. Even though it's going to be a good match, I initially saw that. I was like, God, he's a way bigger star than anyone on the roster right now. So, yeah, I don't even know what happened here. They threw it out. The team with PCO, Rhino, and Jake won. You can see that coming a mile away. I know I'm not going in order here necessarily. The tag team title match. Like I said, I did go to the concession stand for a good portion of this match because I don't particularly enjoy car crash matches. But it was ABC, and like I said, my daughter got the Ace Austin card with his autograph on it. Very cool. Um, but ASAS, I'm sorry, ABC versus the Rascals versus the Grizzled Young Vets versus Mike Bailey and Laredo Kid was the partner. So, because Trent Seven was held up. Uh, I know I'm jumping around here a little bit. Trinity most likely done with TNA. She's done. Trust me, she's done. Um, she did the blow a kiss to the crowd, and then she turned around before she fully exited and waved like she's done. I can fucking assure you on that one. But going back here to the tag team match again, I don't really particularly enjoy car crash matches, so I wasn't really paying attention. If I'm being totally honest with you, I was fairly certain also that uh, Ace Austin and Chris Bay were going to win. You know, like I said, I went to the concession stand. Like I was in line for a while. I think a few people checked out for that one. And when I came back, my daughter just standing there with the Ace Austin card, and I'm standing there with 3 drinks, begging her to take one of them because I was about to drop them. But yeah, the ABC one here, I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what's next for them. You know what? I did say on my previous show, I would not be surprised if they defended the title versus the Grizzled Young Vets on Snake Eyes and lost them. I really wouldn't be shocked. So, yeah, Bullet Club. X Division Championship match. This one caught me off. You know what? Before we go to X Division, let's talk the Knockouts tag team titles because they're not on my list of matches here, so I don't want to forget about them. And a couple people in the comments are already talking about Decay. So this was the other moment of the night. So they should have bet twice in the PCO match where we think we're getting surprises and we don't get them. And then we got the Knockouts tag team match. And I'm telling my son, like, we're going to get a surprise debut here. And I don't know why they announced the tag team titles the day of and not the day before. And that, like, they really made it sound like there was a reason for it. Like they were going to announce a big match for them. I thought Scott, when he gave them the titles, was going to tell them their opponent as well. Killer Kelly also gorgeous in real life, by the way. The music hits, and it's Decay, and they were over. They were very over. Let me just point that out. And I think you can get over the fact that okay, we think we're getting someone special. It's just Decay. And I was thinking to myself as I'm watching this, if these two teams were to have a build, I think it would have had a real like big match feel to it. I think they could have had a really awesome build. Which, granted, in this case, you can't do a build because there's surprise opponents. They're no longer the Death Dolls. They're not fucking Jessica and Courtney Rush. No explanation, no nothing. They're just Decay. And again, they were over. I thought the match was good. I was just really disappointed. I knew Decay was going to win. I knew they were going to win, and I was disappointed because I just think MK Ultra is the best thing to happen to the tag team division in a really long time. And as I've said many times, at one of these throwaway Impact Plus shows, they defended the title against 3 teams and then had no opponents. And when they could have been, having some kind of feuds for a few months after that, they weren't. So I knew Decay was going to win this thing. Like I knew. But I was very disappointed with the outcome because MK Ultra is great. They're great. And again, if you have to buy a ticket, just you need to see Killer Kelly in person. I don't like if you just spending whatever on plane travel and all that shit, like do it. Just I don't care how much you spend, just come see her in person. Check some of these comments real quick. When do I think Josh Alexander will be TNA World Champion? Mount for Glory. This was the 3rd pay-per-view special without any build-up. Yeah, there was none, man. The show was good. The show was good, but I would have loved, some stories. Yeah, just Rosemary does look great. Like she lost a considerable amount weight. Because you remember when she came back from injury, like she ballooned up real bad. Um, it took her a minute, but she looks very good. But yeah, very disappointed. MK Ultra lost. Like very freaking disappointed. But please go see Killer Kelly in person. All right. So the X Division Championship match. It was Chris Sabin defending against Kushida and Vikingo. I thought um, that Kushida was for sure was winning this thing for sure because Chris Sabin, we're entering bland territory with him as the champion. But when they came out for the match, it did dawn on me that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley were not both losing the titles in the same night. Like it kind of hit me. Okay, Sabin's actually going to retain. When I was very confident that um, Kushida was going to, you know, Vikingo looked really good here too. Vikingo is very fun. Um, when he does AEW stuff, it's real. Like there's no um, what is the word? Oh my god, psychology. There's no psychology whatsoever. There really isn't AEW in general. But I didn't think he went total mud show on us. He showed what he could do. The crowd was into it. It was a lot of fun. This match was really good. And then Chris Sabin won, which I really was not expecting. So before this match, Scott D'Amore came out with the president of AAA, and I don't know his name off the top of my head. And this was the Worlds Collide that they were promoting. And this is why I said they kind of did shit the bed on the surprises. Because when they said Worlds Collide, there was people fantasy booking, people from NXT showing up, and AEW, and all sorts of shit. Okay, people said AJ Styles is going to show up, and Sting, and it was the announcement of a partnership with AAA that did not come off good. It did not come off like I thought they were going to announce some kind of joint pay-per-view. I thought they were going to say, "Hey, Rebellion is AAA versus Impact or TNA," something like that. I was just waiting for them to do something to excite us, and that didn't happen. They just said, "Hey, we're a partner, we're an official partner." Like I felt like they always were, you know. And usually the luchadors come on the show when they lose, so I don't know. I'm curious how that came off on television, but I know for the live experience, I was just like, what the fuck is this? You know? Um, but yeah, let's see. I might be TNA's biggest fan. I don't know about that. Like I'm not a super fan. I think there's a lot of people who are super fans. Like I'm just a big fan and I'm honest about the show. When I like it, I like it. When I don't like it, I don't like it. You know? But yeah, it was it really I'm trying to read the comments here, see if you guys say anything about that AAA announcement. I felt like live in person it just came off so bad. I think you're the only person on YouTube who watches TNA as their primary source of wrestling. Yeah. I mean, there's some smaller YouTube channels that are covering TNA now, but yeah, definitely. And there was one point where it was just me. It was just fucking me, that's for sure. But yeah, it is my favorite promotion. It's the one that pisses me off the most. That's why I get so negative, because I care the most about it. You know, like I'll watch AEW and I'll say, hey, this fucking sucks, but I don't lose sleep over it. You know what I mean? Because I don't really care that much. But with Impact TNA, I've always cared, and that's what kind of caused me to have the negative outlook sometimes, because just kind of out of frustration. So yeah, like John Jackson is saying here, like they've had this partnership for years. Like this wasn't anything. I was just waiting. Okay, there's something here. You know what I mean? And then it hit us like that was the Worlds Collide thing. Like it was just that was so bad. But let's move on. So yeah, we were done with the X Division Championship. Josh Alexander took on Alex Hammerstone. Hammerstone was really over with the crowd. I think the crowd wanted Hammerstone to win. And this was good. this was this was really good. And I've always said my favorite wrestling is just one-on-one matches with two guys who can work. Like that for me, that is just the most enjoyable type of wrestling where there's good moves, there's psychology, there's selling. You know, they they have chemistry. Like I love that kind of stuff. Like the tag team match we saw earlier, that's just like so far from what I enjoy. But this year I liked quite a bit. The audience liked Hammerstone a lot. I would say that I would say everyone wants him to sign. Everyone wants him there. But we don't know if that's going to happen. We don't know if he's going to kind of feel things out. I just don't see him in a different company and being there and succeeding. I really think TNA is perfect for him. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on and see if that's what happens. Um, but I enjoyed the match quite a bit. I thought it went a little long. My son was getting a little frustrated with all the near falls. Because sometimes you're just watching a match and it's just kind of like, okay, this needs to end. Like it wasn't like super super long, but it was a couple minutes long for my taste. I would like to see them doing the palms. I think that hard to kill needs to be here every year. I think that would be a very smart thing to do. I wouldn't say that about most venues and pay per views. Like the Rebel Center complex, whatever it's called, is really awesome. But I wouldn't say, hey, do it every single year. Do rebellion every year here. Um, but I think because of the way they do television at the final quarter of the year, that the smartest thing for them to do is just to make this their home every year. Um, so we'll see if that's what happened. But I really liked the venue though. It was just a very classy little venue. But Josh Alexander won this thing. I knew he was going to win because he's going to wrestle with Will Ospreay, and he actually hasn't been winning a whole lot lately. He's had a few losses, so you know I knew that 2024 is going to be about building him back up again, and I think it's just going to be a story of him versus Moose. Then at Bound for Glory, I think he's going to beat him again. But I'm okay with Josh not being in the title picture. Like they've never. There's one of two things that they haven't done. They haven't done an engaging, compelling storyline with him that didn't involve his wife, and they haven't done anything compelling with him that didn't involve him chasing a title in one way, shape, or form, whether it was the X Division Championship or the World Title. So um, I'm actually really excited to see how they handle him in 24. Not excited because I'm not really his biggest fan, but I just mean I'm very interested to seeing how they book him and how they handle him going forward. But he's going to get the Will Ospreay win, and that's going to really catapult him. But I'm not ready for him to be in the world title picture just yet. Um, Trinity took on Jordan Grace, and guys, when I say Trinity's over, like she was really over. She was much more over than Jordan Grace, and that's when it kind of hit me that I do think that a lot of people were there for her. Um, yeah, Nope Gaming. Yes, I did enjoy the pay per view very much. I had an absolute blast there. But Trinity was very over with everyone. I think I'm not going to put a number on it, but there was definitely people there for her. Like when you go to see a sports team because like the one dude is on the team, I really got that vibe that people were there for Trinity, and it was not particularly loud for Jordan, you know. But this was Trinity's best match in her short time in Impact. Obviously, look at her opponent. Jordan Grace doesn't have bad matches, but this was one of Trinity's better. It was her best match. She didn't really have a whole lot of matches. She wrestled, Deanna Prazo 9 times and Giselle Shaw 7 times. You know, obviously I'm exaggerating, but she had a good match here. And if you're just tuning in, I said she is done. I promise you, she's done. She blew a kiss to the audience. She waved, turned around and waved. She was emotional. Like she's done. She's she's not coming back. I don't think there's going to be a rematch or anything like that. Lil Silver saying Mercedes and Bailey was in the audience. You heard, yeah, and and I passed them in the concession area. It was pretty crazy. FYI, when Scott came out to announce the partnership, it sounded like a fart in church on TV. There's no doubt in my mind, like that segment was so fucking bad. Uh, I don't know. It was like the wrestling on this show was very good. The venue was great. The energy was great. The ring announcing, the everything was so good. But it was like when it came to surprises, it just did not hit. Scott coming out of that segment was beyond awkward. it it was, dude. He's just not a friendly TV personality. It's he's just he's just cringe, dude. Like Scott the cringe man. But I say all these things joking about him because he has done such a tremendous job with TNA, and there's no drama, there's no backstage nonsense. We've had a couple, the Rachel Ellerings and stuff here and there, but I mean, for the most part, the ship has been sailing, uh, and it's not sinking. It doesn't look like it's sinking. The talent want to be there, So I just say he's not a warm on-screen character. Um, the headset thing is annoying to me. His voice is annoying, but he does such a good job for this company. So he just, yeah, like Ja is saying here, he just needs to stay off camera. That's all. You know, I would love to see Gail Kim in an authority role. I would love it. Santino stuff is like funny a little bit, but it's, uh, you know, if it was Gail Kim, like I would think that would be great. And then the world title match, Moose versus Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley was not over as the world champion with this crowd. I would say the majority of the people were cheering for Moose. And Alex Shelley saw it because before they locked up, he did like like he did this to him because he looked to the right, like where I was sitting, and I mean everyone was Moose, Moose, and I think he saw that, you know. But, he just he's a great wrestler. He puts on great matches, and he got a nice little title run here, and it was nice to see that happen. But Motion Machine Guns, excuse me, wow, I can't wait to go to bed. You have no idea. I actually go to bed at 9:30 every night, so for me, being up at 11 right now is kicking my ass. Um, and I mean, I don't sleep at all. I actually, you know, I don't sleep past like 6 a.m. You know, I get up at 4 most days, so I just really don't sleep a lot. But I'm tired right now. But this audience definitely wanted Moose to win this thing, and they were very happy when he did. And there was a couple parts where Alex Shelley got some runs, and the crowd was getting behind him, but just a very small portion wanted him to win. And it's kind of like I said with Chris Sabin, he was entering bland territory as the champion, and you know, so he's not someone that should have a particularly long title run. And he's going to have a rematch here. It's probably going to be at the tapings. I always think it's so funny when you're building a title match, and and it happens, and then you do the rematch like the next day. Moose was the one who said it with Josh Alexander. Is like, why did he have 5 months to prepare for me, and I had 5 days? The crowd wasn't feeling Shelley through the TV, so yeah, that's interesting that it actually came off that way. Um, I actually felt bad for him. uh, because I could tell he knew it, like he saw it, you know. But yeah, I actually felt kind of bad for him because the crowd really wanted Moose to win this thing. See if we got any comments here. I don't think Scott realizes how much TV time he takes up. I don't think he does either. He's dialed back a lot because there was a time where he was on like multiple segments and he was being snarky and making the wrestlers, at their expense look like freaking idiots. Ooh, but yeah, he's not that bad anymore. And everything I say about Scott and all the names I give him, it's all out of jest because he is doing really good things for this company. Will TNA sign Shelton Benjamin? I think that they do. I think they will sign him. Actually, that's my personal opinion. Um, let's talk surprises here real quick. Moose obviously won the title. We're gonna talk first. I'll answer this question first. Do I see Steve Macklin being TNA World Champion after a short title reign? Not anytime soon. What do I think of Flop Dollar? Oh man, I did not talk about the Top Dollar segment. So DJ Who Kid came out. And like I'm a big hip hop guy, so I know who he is, but a lot of people didn't in this audience. Um, I thought Top Dollar when he came out, people are saying here he's corny and all that stuff. I thought he did a pretty decent job with what he was saying. I thought he got some good heat. But at first when he came out, like someone brought up a fart in church here a little bit earlier. Like that's kind of how it was. Like no one really wanted him out there at first. That the crowd got into him a little bit more as it went on, and I mean from a standpoint of heat. But I thought this motherfucker is really gonna put his music video on, and it started off and like he's okay. I know my hip hop. He's okay. I don't think he's whack by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think he's that good. The music started playing, and my son's like, I'm not feeling it, And when Joe Hendry hit, like that hit, like that was over. He's really over with my kids, and the video and all that, like that was a lot of fun. DJ Who Kid, when he hit him with the laptop, he hit him like that was not because when someone's not in the business in the industry, they don't know how to pull it back properly. Like yo, he like that shit legitimately like broke on him. So I thought the segment was okay for a pre-show. But yeah, surprise wise, we got the former Dana Brooke, who she wasn't someone on my last upload that I thought would debut, but and when I did my upload about the WWE releases, I was saying I could see her there. I do like her very much, and I'm interested in this gimmick. It's yeah, what the hell's her name? Ash by I was gonna say fragrance. I know that's not it. Let me pull up Twitter here, unless someone wants to say it in the comments here. Uh, Speaking of Joe Henry, do I think Joey were supposed to be tag team champions? No, but I think he was supposed. I thought. Thanks, Duke. Elegant and Jaw Elegance. Yep. No, I don't think they were going to be champions, but I think there was a lot more meat on the bone with them that they didn't really get to experience. Ash by Elegance. This is very different. That is definitely different. I know that I know this motherfucker Tom Hannafin is going to call her Elegance like it's her last name, like Elegance. I know for a fact he's going to do that. Um, I'm really excited to see what she does. She's got the Iceman as her little crony there, so uh, it kind of gives me some vibes, a little bit of Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. I'm seeing people on social media saying she's knocking off Tony Storm and Luther, and I'm like, we haven't seen the gimmick yet, so we can't say that. I don't think that she's a throwback, like trapped in a different era. I think she's just trying to like an upper class, like she came in a limo. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the reason um, I'm really excited about it is because I love when people come over and they reinvent themselves. When I've been talking about it a lot lately. When you're coming over and you're doing the Heath thing and the Rhino, and it's the same exact fucking gimmicks they've been doing, and Dango and these guys and Big Con. You know what I'm saying? she's coming over here and she's like, "This is my opportunity." She never really got an opportunity over there, and I always thought she was pretty good. So it was odd to me that she just never really got anything. Like she was a her claim to fame is a fucking 24/7 champion. Like that's crazy that that's all she did over there. And she was one of the major players in NXT at one point. Do I think there'll be surprise appearances of Snake Eyes? I do. I do. I definitely do. Um, but I'm very excited to see what she does. I want to see this gimmick, and I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. So commentary messed up her name. That hurt the debut a bit. That's interesting. Um, what is it that they said? I gotta say, watching the show and not having to listen to the commentary was really nice. Tom Hennepin does do a good job. Like his voice annoys me a little bit. Ray Wild's his voice annoys me a little bit. So it's nice to get a break, and just watch the action without having to listen. I wonder if he said first time ever matchup at all tonight. I can see Bobby Roode coming back somewhere down the line. I actually can see that as well. I wonder if Nick Nemeth's brother is showing up too, because I was reading an interview with him and he's very excited to be able to tag with him and wrestle with him. So he doesn't have uh, the talent of Dolph Ziggler's left fucking testicle. You know what I'm saying? But maybe in this scenario, in this platform with TNA, like he could be pretty good. Vito said he didn't say it once. So honestly, we've been writing Tom Hannafin on Twitter, and I don't mean writing with a W. I guess that too, but like writing RIDING, a few of us. And I was actually very confident after our last conversation that he was going to stop saying first time ever matchup. Like some people were in the chat saying, "Yo, this shit is way too much, man." And he said, "Okay, yeah, I probably do overuse it, but there's times where I think it's necessary." So say it when it's necessary, motherfucker, not when PCO versus Dango. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, Crazy Steve and Rosemary, both champions. Very interesting. Someone responded to me here. Someone said, "I like the commentary, but I understand how you feel. I just don't like their voices. That's all. Like I like the content of what they say." He kept calling her Ash by excellence. Yeah, that's not it. That is not the juice. But I really want to see. I just don't like that they bring her out for the Knockouts title match and they're teasing that she's going to do that right away. I thought Jordan Grace was going to turn heel. That's one thing that I had said, but once I knew that Trinity was leaving, I was like, oh, that's probably not going to happen, especially if they're bringing in Knockout to her heels, like in this case. But I just don't want Ash by. Now I'm going to call her the wrong name too. God, that name just not stuck in my head. I was going to call her Ash by Excellence also. Ash by. Scrolling up all these damn comments here. I can't even. I'm going to call her Ash for the moment. I just don't want her in the title picture right away, but I don't know who she can feud with. Who's she's going to feud with? Jody Threat? I mean, there's not a lot from a babyface standpoint. I do expect the division to really blow up in the next couple months because you lose Trinity, you lose Mickey James, you lose, and I know Mickey James was paid per appearance, but you lose them, you lose Diana. Like there's a lot of money that opens up for the knockouts, and that's why I thought they would go kind of big game hunting with Lacey Evans, with Mandy Rose. Like I still wouldn't be shocked if they didn't show up, but um, right now we got Zaya Brookside in, and we got Ash by. It's not excellence. I'm gonna be calling her Ash by excellence now. So I think they're going to beef up the division a little bit more. I think we're going to see a couple very cool debuts in there. And then we got Nick Nemeth at the end. I think that's what everyone expected, and yeah. Oh yeah, Tom Hennepin is much better than fucking Booker T. I cannot stand Booker T on commentary. Elegance, elegance. Thank you, Ryan Hood. Elegance. Ash by Elegance. That one is going to be so freaking hard for me to remember. I swear. Um, Bringing in a jobber for the KO title, we don't know that though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she was a jobber there, but she EC3 was a jobber before he came over and did some amazing things. So I think we gotta to to give it a chance. Yeah, Booker. Everyone's here. Booker T is annoying. Like he does like the shucky ducky quack quack thing. Like I don't know if he thinks that is like street talk these days or something. But it's very very stupid. But we were talking Nick Nemeth and I don't know what happened at the end when he went into the crowd because the ropes were in the way. I couldn't see. I just know that he had a TNA shirt on. I don't remember what he was wearing previous to that, but once I saw he had the TNA shirt on, I thought that was a really good moment because it's someone what have I been saying for the longest time? Someone has to choose Impact, and it looks like he has chosen TNA, and he just never struck me as someone at this point in his career is like, hey, let me go make money. Like he's made a lot of money, and I think he's somewhere in his life right now where he's like, I just want to be the man. You know, he knows he can. He knows if you give him the ball, he can run with it. Like he knows that. So let's see. He wrapped the shirt with TNA on it. He ripped off his shirt to reel the TNA. Okay, okay, okay. You just typo there for Nope Gaming. But yeah, Jaw is saying he ripped off the shirt. Okay, cool. Because I couldn't see exactly what he did, but it was nice because it let us know that he's here. Like he's here for us, and he's going to be a part of the company. And it wasn't I'm here for a booking, and then I'm going to leave it go to AEW. And I think he's an intelligent guy. I don't believe his brother is in AEW anymore, so I think um, he sees Edge go there. He sees Christian and some of these dudes, and he sees that bloated roster, and he sees that people come in and they're hot, and the fans love them for a little bit, and then they disappear off TV. You know, the TNA fans are going to treat him a lot better. I think we have the most. I say we like we're an exclusive club, but I mean, I think fans of TNA are the most respectful of the wrestlers on a roster of any company. Um, I think there was just I don't know. I think AEW is in a place right now where they're just not attractive to free agents. You know, there was one point where they were just the hottest thing going, and like now they're a complete shit show, complete soup sandwich, fucking goat rope, and people are getting lost in a shuffle. They're signing, and then what the fuck do they do when they're over there? You know what I mean? So I think that he got paid whatever that CM Punk money was they had, or that Will Osprey money, and he's he's going to be a great part of this show. He is. It's just a matter of finding the right people to work with him. You know, you got to sign a couple other guys and build some stars and things like that because he's a big star. So I know that him and his brother I think did a movie recently. So I just want to see if his brother shows up. I'm very interested to see what he can do in the TNA platform. Do I see him being world champion? 100. He's going to be world champion. I can fucking assure you of that. I just don't know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, because I think Moose needs a good title run. I know they want to put the title back on Josh. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think they'll break up MK Ultra to go the Knockouts title scene, or will they stay together, bring more knockouts for the tag team division? So, I've been wanting to do this upload on the channel for months now, and I haven't. There is a trend. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek here because I'm eventually gonna do it. Um, there's a trend here with the Knockouts tag team champions. When they lose the title, they either break up or one of them leaves the company. It has happened every single title reign. The only ones where it hasn't is the versions of Decay and Death Dolls. Like Rosemary and Havoc have held these titles like 90 times. Um, and they're still around, but every other, the inspiration, the influence, the Coven. Um, I'm kind of trying to think who else is on this list here because I think there's one other. Like, there's a trend that when they lose the titles, something happens to the team. So I want to see MK Ultra keep going though. I don't want them to break up. I think that would be stupid. Um, Para is being wasted in. I think you mean Taya is being wasted in AEW. What a fucking horrible decision on her part, dude. What a horrible decision for her to go there. Like, she has looked like shit when she wrestles, which is crazy. She always put good matches on for Impact. Just complete fucking shit. And now she's wrestling on Ring of Honor. It's actually really sad. So, Namath, cool guy. Met him at his comedy show in Vegas last year. I'd love to see him thrive in TNA. I hope he does Vegas again. I'll be there. Shit. Um, what else we got here? Why not have a secondary KO title rather than tag titles? Yeah, I could see one or the other. I like the tag team titles. I just think they don't do a good job with the division, but I like them having uh, tag team champions. Yo, this comment. Let me bring this one up. TK treats new signings like Andy from Toy Story. I can relate to this. When I was a kid, I used to buy wrestling figures and I had a ring and I would wrestle with any figure that I had. It was G.I. Joe. I had fucking Transformers up in there. I mean, anything was a wrestler to me as long as they had arms and legs. Some of them didn't even have arms and legs. I still put them in the ring. But every time I would buy a new figure, they would be undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used them as much as possible. They beat everybody. They won all my titles and all that shit. Um, you know, I relate to this. You know, that's exactly how he treats it. Um, let's see. Wish Anna Jay came to the Knockouts division. I like Anna Jay, but she won't because no young wrestler is going to leave AEW and come over. Unless something really bad happens. But they're not just going to be like, oh, let me go look for opportunity. They're gonna make trying to want to make them as much money as possible, no matter how much they're used. It's going to be the veterans or people who are really disgruntled. But for the most part, I think it's going to be veterans from AEW that come over. Um, who will decay face if not MK Ultra? Fuck if I know. Fuck if I know. Um, Even knockouts could have a TV title. Yeah, but you have to get rid of the tag titles if you do something like that. So I don't know. I think two singles titles for the knockouts would be very difficult to book. At least with the tag team, I mean, it's a completely different division. This comment here, it's hilarious when the guy in your comments referred to Scott as Tuggles. You were like, "Who the fuck is Tuggles?" Yeah, I don't remember what I posted on Twitter. Oh no, it was Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. It was YouTube. It was something I did here where someone called him Tuggles, and I was like, "Why is he Tuggles?" That's just odd. Um, let's see what else we got here for comments. Yeah, Ty has been awful, very very bad. Oh my god, I want to go to sleep. Oh my lord. Uh, um, glad Dreamer lost. Is the Digital Media Championship still an intergender title? I would imagine it is. You just can't really. You don't have like they had Mia Yim and they had Jordan Grace. Like, there's not really that many girls who could go in the division. Like Kylan King probably could. You know, one or two girls. You know what I'm saying? So, should they have a tunnel in the middle of the Tron? I was actually thinking about that tonight. I don't think it matters either way, to be honest. I just don't want the camera on it. I know that much. Do I think Nick Nemeth will move the needle? I actually think he will. Um, because he, like, the AEW fan base really wanted him to go over there. I think there's a lot of people who they are shocked that he ended up in TNA. I'm a little shocked myself, if I'm being honest. Do I think he'll move the needle? Normally, I would say no because there's not a lot of needle movers in wrestling. You know, there's if your name doesn't rhyme with Shiem Schmunk, you know, you don't really move the needle. But Trinity moved the needle. She didn't initially, like the first month, she didn't gain a single viewer, but then things started going up, and I'm watching Hard to Kill, and I mean the place was going crazy for her. So I think he will. I think we're gonna see. I just think the overall rebrand is gonna move the needle for a little bit. It's just gonna be what do they do with it? Do they capitalize, or does it look like a fucking episode of Impact? Like a normal episode. Um, they need to bring Kurt Angle as some authority role. I think they tried to do that at one point, actually. Um, Grace needs to turn heel. Like, I agree. But then who's she gonna wrestle? Oh no. Oh, girl. Whew, we're wrapping up here soon. So my ass can freaking go to bed. I'm just seeing if got some more good comments here before I punch out. I feel like I'm 50. You have like no idea, folks. Like I just do not stay up late. Um, get to a couple more comments here, and then we're gonna wrap it up for the night. I need to have some energy for Snake Eyes tomorrow. Um, let's see. They said it was the biggest audience in 8 years. Tom said it was very corny. So 8 years. We're talking about 2024. So 2014. No. What happened in 2014 that they had an audience around that size? That doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, I'm not 50. I'm 44. um, as I said earlier, I really I thought there was more people bound for glory in Chicago, where Sammy Callahan took on Brian Cage in the main event. I really thought there was more people there, but I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. 2014 MVP was oh 2000 okay, so 2014 was their last year on Destination America. Um, they had Bound for Glory in like North Carolina that year. Slammiversary, I don't recall where that was. I still don't. I don't see why he brought up 8 years. I don't. I can't think what the fuck happened. So let's see. If true, my bad. What he said, I would like to think the audience is the biggest crowd in 8 years. His word totally being serious. I mean, there was a lot of people there. There was definitely a lot of people. Um, shocked that Shelton Benjamin and Mustafa Ali. By the way, I like the Total Nonstop Action Rivals. That's a great screen name. I've been meaning to tell you that. Um, shocked that Shelton and Mustafa Ali didn't show up. I don't think I wasn't expecting Mustafa Ali. I could see him trying to do the AEW thing, but Shelton Benjamin, like, I just got a feeling that like that could happen. I just don't think AEW is a destination right now. I just don't. And every time Tony Khan opens his mouth, he just, you know, it's just less and less attractive. Don't see the appeal of Shelton Benjamin. I don't know. I think he's good. Uh, um, I'm always curious to see how someone does in a smaller company. The big fish, small pond. I'm always let's see. BFG was in North Carolina, 2015. Okay, no, because I went in 2015. Let's see, because I moved to Florida. You're right. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. I moved to Florida in 2015, and The first Bound for Glory I did not go to. I went after that. So you're right. You're right. Um, they did a tail of the tape and story overview of matches again on the TV. 8 years was 2016, was it? 2024. You're right. You're right. How embarrassing. I told you guys I was tired. My math was what I did. I did 12 years, 10 years. I did do 10 years, didn't I? So thank you, Jaw Jackson. 8 years was 2016. I still don't know. So, okay. So 2016, everything was in an impact zone in Orlando. So that just, I think he's just pulling fucking numbers out. Let's see. 2018 had 2,000 at Bound for Glory and 3,700 at Slammiversary. Bound for Glory, the one I'm talking to, Brian Cage versus Sammy Callahan, was that 2018 or 19? Because that the Chicago one. Because I really, really guesstimated that there was 2,000 people there. Like it was not a sellout. I promise you, it was not a fucking sellout because there was a lot of empty seats, but there was a lot of people there, and because they were surrounding all four sides of the ring. You know what I mean? Like pretty deep too. So that's really why I thought it was 2,000 or so. 3,700 Slammiversary. Yeah, yeah, there was. I'm guessing that's a Rebel Center one. I'm guessing. So yeah, thanks C Nation dog. Bound for Glory was 2019. Yep. Um, Kiera Hogan and Ty Valkyrie have been fodder in AEW. Oh my god, to get Kiera Hogan to even get a Kiera Hogan is all elite graphic. Are you kidding me? But the reason she left is because they told her that she would not be in a program for the Knockouts title, which is crazy. She was like one of the real, like, actual homegrown stars they had. But Tasha Steelz has taken that ball and fucking ran with it. Did I see Sean Ross Sapp posted Sasha and Bailey were there? Yeah, I did. I was there. I mean, I was not there. Obviously, I was there. I did see them. I was, for those just kind of tuning in, I did see them during the tag team match when I went to go get sodas for my kids. They walked past me with hoods on, and it was clearly them. I was laughing because Danny Luna and Jody Threat were wearing hoods too. It's like you guys are not that big of stars, you know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. Tasha Steelz has a special TNA wrestling contract where she comes in as she pleases. This chick, no shit, shows up. This is like multiple times now showing up and then just disappearing for fucking months. Absolute months. What else we got here? Yep, Kara Hogan wasted an AEW. Absolutely. BFG was a big show in 2016, which was AJ versus Bully in San Diego. Yeah, so that was in 2016 though. That wasn't no, that wasn't 2016. That crowd I think was like 8,000 or something. Like wasn't that like their big? I think that was like the biggest one in the history. But that was before that. 2016, everything was in Orlando. Um, Tasha Steelz is a part timer. Um, Getting Hard to Kill is probably 16 to 1800. I've been hearing 1800. That's kind of what I was. Steele's got that Roman Reigns schedule. Yeah, I was kind of hearing 1800. There was a lot of people there. Trust me. The floor plan that you guys see like on WrestleTix made it look a lot bigger than it is. It is a small venue, but they had um, multiple levels, and I think the levels were a lot deeper than I really realized. But just because the levels were on top of each other, on the floor plan it shows it flat, like it shows them all behind each other, so it makes it look like, oh, they opened up these new rows and like there was just rows and rows going back. Like that wasn't it. It was the rows were going up. Wonder if Sue Young will return. She's been doing indie stuff, but she's just really not in good shape. Like I can't imagine they put her on TV. So I think Hammerstone will be signed. I'm kind of 50-50. I think he should be signed. I just don't know that he will necessarily. Um, let's see what else we got. Why is the pre-show not on YouTube? Because it was specific to the Ultimate Insiders. The problem is they don't. I mean, not Ultimate Insiders to TNA Plus, but the problem is they just don't communicate that well enough to the people. You know what I'm saying? So it looked big on TV, but the camera angles were really bad and got me dizzy. The pictures that are floating around on Twitter make it make the venue look a lot fucking bigger than it is. You know, it's just I promise you it's not that big. Like it's a smaller venue, but it does fit a good amount of people. You notice my Alicia Edwards shirt. I'm happy that I finally got my wish. She's doing more than just being Eddie Edwards' wife. And yeah, she's still Eddie Edwards' wife on the show because it's his wife. But I mean, it's when I always said she's just Eddie's wife, it just meant like kind of how I've been saying Impact uses the crutch when they need to get a storyline going. It's go terrorize the wife. You know what I'm saying? And that's just I was just done with that. I got to see her up close today, so I was really excited about that. My daughter caught me like staring at her ass. 'Cause she wears assless pants and shit. I was just like, you know, I know she just got a little booty, but you know what I'm saying? I was still into it. And I look over, my daughter's looking at me like shaking her head. I'm like, oops. Um, what else we got here? Uh, wanted Alicia to win. Yeah, I did. I definitely wanted her to. Shit, I knew she wasn't though. She already got her match. You know what I'm saying? TNA should bring back the DCC, dude. I have no interest in James Storm coming back, and I love James Storm. Like my family was his guest one time in Orlando. And he took us backstage and shit. Like it was really good to my kids and all that. So I never say anything negative about James Storm, but like it's been there, done that with him, like showing up at TNA. DCC was a major missed opportunity though. I could be wrong. If it looked huge on TV, like I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was in the fourth row. I had a lot behind me, so maybe just the angle I was at didn't make it seem like it was that big. I don't know. Um, yeah, if James Storm came back for a world title run, you know what I mean, kind of like Alex Shelley got, I kind of be okay with that for a little bit. Do I think Jack Perry shows up in TNA? No, I don't want him. I've never liked him. Not as Jungle Boy, not as Jack Perry, nothing. I know he just showed up in New Japan. I have no interest in him. Never have. He is fucking dry as the newspaper, man. That dude is bland, boring, fucking phony. I think Alicia's best match when she teamed with Eddie against Davey and Angelina. Um, she's decent, but doesn't deserve all the hate she gets on the Insta comments. She really doesn't. Like you got to understand, she was used as a jobber. Like she never really got to show what she could do. I thought that match was very good. Yes, that ladder match or Full Metal Mayhem. But when you're in a jobber role, what are you supposed to ultimately fucking do? You know what I'm saying? Like she is better than she shows. Um, Jack Perry looks like a middle schooler. Jack Perry sucks. Um, just boring. Yeah, I just do not like that dude. Here's a comment I like. Demon Waves 25. Not everybody is a draw, but if you make compelling TV, that'll be the draw. Like totally agreed. Totally fucking agreed. What does TW always say? If Monday Night Raw was on Access TV, it would still get to a million viewers. Not that they're compelling, but it's like if you make television that people care about and want to see, like they will seek it out and watch it. Um, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, those motherfuckers are winning the tag team championships. I can assure you at some point. You know what? They might take them off ABC actually. That would be Jack Perry only over as a babyface because of his theme song. Totally agreed. Totally agree. That motherfucker sucks. I was getting nervous that your prediction was going to be right about Tessa showing up. You started to make me to believe it when they showed Dana's back. Thought it was her in a wig, and then God, it wasn't. I I don't know if like what I was saying about Tesla was really much of a prediction. It was just when they're teasing stuff like you're never gonna guess who's showing up, like it just makes you it starts getting you think outside the box, and that's kind of what I was doing. I was just outside of the box. Eddie Edwards basically took Moose's spot in the tag team with Brian Myers. That's exactly what he did. I don't even know if there was a storyline here with how they built this system. Like they just kind of started teaming up one day. I don't recall them ever, you know. Um Raw's getting TNA on Spike TV ratings. Yeah, that's basically what they're doing now. I think they make sure TNA is in more homes and get with the big cable companies, make sure Access TV is in more homes. People get offended when I say things like Impact TNA is a third tier company if you're putting all the wrestling companies into three tiers. I think it's way better than AEW, trust me. But until they get a TV deal that's really worth a damn, like they're just always going to kind of be a distant third. The shitty thing is, man, if all these people, the 900,000 or whatever, watch AEW, like if they actually with an open mind watch TNA, I think they would see that it's way better. You know what I mean? Like some of the Jim Cornettes of the world who just shit on, they've shit on Impact for years without even watching the product. I'm just like, motherfucker, all the things that you say AEW doesn't do this and this and this, like, yo, you would love fucking TNA, motherfucker. Jeez. Um, this is regarding the system. It was random. It was Moose and Myers tagging, then it replaced Moose with Eddie's for a random hard to kill match. Debuted. No, there was another tag match that they did but yeah, just random is all fucking shit. Would you be up for another TNA AW partnership again? No, God, no, 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 no. Dude, because Tony's not going to let anyone from TNA beat his people. That's the problem. What happened to the design? Yeah, they're still there. I'm glad they weren't on this show because they suck. Um, what else we got? Yes, that's right. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers face ABC at Final Resolution, so they already had their title match. That was random. It's absolute fucking shit. Can't wait for them to reveal their new action figures. I will believe it when I see it. When these fucking action figures, MLWs came out. I mean, come on, seriously. How many new knockouts will show up in the next shows? I think we're gonna get at least one because we have three departures, but we got two replacements in Zaya Brookside and Ash by Excellent, Ash by Arrogance, Ash by is it Arrogance? Ash by oh my god, Dana Brooke and Zaya Brookside. We got two, so I think we're gonna get one more. But I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't get two or three more action figures. Our gold mine for wrestling. I think that Ash by Elegance. Oh my god, I got to tattoo that on my fucking arm or something, man. Yeah, action figures and stuff like they would make so much fucking money. Uh, this comment here, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but yeah, I think Kenny Omega was supposed to lose to Josh Alexander. I think that's everyone knows that that's what they were supposed to go with it to create a star in Josh Alexander, but he was hurt, so they, you know, or Tony might have just said, you can't beat him. Oh fuck me in the ass. Whew. Okay. Whenever I watch another show, I just get annoyed at the fact that it's all TNA people at the top of the card, but those people won't watch TNA. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like people are going over there from TNA and they're getting pops. Brian Cage at one point, was came across like a really big deal on AEW television. I think he did empty arena wrestling though. But let's see if there's anything else here. Uh, Do I think Snake Eyes with Osprey and Okada will draw more than Hard to Kill? No, 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 no. I already told my kids, I was like, there's gonna be like a third of this number maybe tomorrow when we go for the tapings. Um, let's see. There's some comments still coming in, folks. But I've about had it for the night. I really do need to go to bed. I'm struggling here. So um there's gonna be more content, more we'll be back to live streaming with the episodes now that we're getting original episodes coming up on TV again. Uh, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm gonna keep working on some content. I'm working on my predictions for 2024. Usually I do these as like New Year's resolution type of thing, but this year was different because I didn't I because of the rebrand. It's different when it was like last year. The year starts, the show's exactly the same. It's We Own the Night. It's Matt Striker and all this shit on commentary, and like there were so many areas that had to be fixed. And now I already know they're fixing things, so it's definitely I'm definitely not sure how to approach this podcast, but I'm definitely going to try to do some kind of predictions for the year, what I think will happen, what I want to be happen, or whatever. So yeah, okay. So everyone's given me the okay to leave. So yeah, I really gotta knock out here. So thank you everybody. This we got a nice little crowd here talking and lots of great comments, and I just hope everyone enjoyed the show. I know I enjoyed it quite a bit. And yeah, we should have a new theme song Thursday. I'm very excited. Matt Stryker is on MLW. Yeah, his commentary used to be good, and that dude is just the worst now. And I'm just so glad Impact moved on from him because I thought we were gonna get him forever. All right, y'all. We will talk again soon. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.